Okay, welcome to your routine for low back pain. This one's going to open up the whole lower body area, hips, low back, legs. So let's get started. Bring your feet shoulder width. Soften your knees, toes pointing forward. Let's work a little bit on our stance here. Try to find your tailbone tucking under a little bit. So our back, instead of those back muscles being engaged, keeping the low back arched, we're just kind of dropping the tailbone underneath and relaxing the low back. As we do this, let's bring the hands over the belly and just start to breathe to the lower abdomen. Start taking some deep breaths. Feel the belly expand and relax with your breath. It's like there's a balloon in the lower abdomen, inflating and deflating. Just a couple deep breaths. Starting out connecting to our center. Okay, let's take our breath to our low back. Hands over your low back. If you can, try to reach above your hips. So we're not down here, or up here if you can. As we breathe in, we're going to tuck the tailbone under, sink the chest. And as we exhale, we're just going to come back to neutral. We inhale, tuck under. Exhale to neutral. So your inhale, you're actually trying to expand into your lower back. And feel the low back expand into your hands. Inhale, expand. Exhale, relax. On that inhale, think about the front of your abdomen contracting. Exhale, relaxing. It's almost like you're doing a little sit-up. You activate your abdominal muscles a bit. And this helps push the breath back to the lower back. We minimize the space at the front of the body, so the breath has to go to the back. We call this kidney breathing because we kind of breathe through the kidneys here. You feel it expanding your low back muscles, expanding your low back ribs. In Chinese medicine, the qi of the kidneys is largely related to low back pain. So we try to supplement the kidney qi and also decongest the flow of energy through the kidney meridian. Good. Let's take us into a bigger spinal movement with spinal cord breathing. You're going to inhale, pull your chest forward. Exhale, sink your chest back. Inhale, chest forward, tilt your hips forward. Exhale, tuck the tailbone under, the hips tilt back. Inhale, chest forward, try to open along the front of the body, front of the spine. Exhale, open along the back of the spine, make your spine round. Inhale. So what you want to make sure you're not doing here is hinging at the hips, right? You want to sink back in the chest. So the front of your hips are actually, it opens more, the crease of your hips, rather than closing the crease. So as we exhale, we open the crease and sink at the chest, at the sternum. Good, we're going to reverse our breath here. So exhale, round, hold here, and inhale. And then exhale, chest forward, hips tilt forward. And inhale, sink your chest back. Use the inhale to expand your back. Exhale, forward. Inhale, back. Good, relax down. Good. Let's make the movement smaller and subtler again. That's when we're going to think about that tuck of the tailbone. Bring your palms face up like you're holding a ball in your hands. Now, bring your hands to the top of the ball. Bring your hands to the bottom. Circle the hands to the top. Circle to the bottom. Now imagine you have a ball in your pelvis. And we're going to roll the ball backwards and forwards. And backwards and forwards. So this ball in front of you is sort of rotating opposite. So the ball in your pelvis rolls forwards Ball in the pelvis rolls backwards. So the hips tilt forward, tailbone points back. Tailbone tucks under, hips tilt back. You feel you sort of engage your low back muscles and then engage your core muscles. Engage your low back muscles, engage your core muscles. And each time one engages, the other relaxes. So as we engage the abdomen, the lower back relaxes. You can inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. So just training the hips to move independently. Very good training. It's something we don't often learn how to do. But once we get some more control and communication with these muscles, it can really help pain. A lot of times pain is because our brain isn't communicating with the muscles. We've sort of shut off our communication between brain and body. And so these kind of help get those things back online. Good. Now keep your hips tucked under, tailbone tucked under, hips tilting back. This should flatten your low back at least part way. Bring your arms up now. Keep that tailbone tuck as we start to reach one hand up at a time. Or picking cherries exercise. Keep the tailbone tucked under. As the hand reaches up, the ribs lift up, but the hip stays down. So don't kind of come up with the hip. Keep the hip grounded. This creates the length in the side waist. Your breath doesn't have to link with this one. Let's just take a few deep breaths. It's creating that embodiment, that relaxation. Good, hands down onto the hips. We're going to circle the hips. Now if you have a lot of pain and stiffness, you might make this a pretty small circle. If you feel like you can go further, make it a big circle. Just using this to open up through the hip joint as well as the waist, lower spine. Good, go the other direction. Big circle, should feel good. If you feel any pinching in your spine or your hips, make the circle smaller. Good, come to the center. Okay, again, we're going to isolate the pelvis, get a little control in these muscles. So you're going to imagine your tailbone is a tail. So it keeps going. And if you wanted to draw a circle on the ground with this tail, how would you move your tailbone? So we're going to bend our knees just a little bit and try to circle our pelvis. Circle the pelvis. And so you're trying to draw a circle with the tailbone. You're loosening up the hips, but also strengthening the connection between the brain and some of these muscles we don't often use. Try to make that circle smooth. Anywhere it feels like a square, like it has sharp corners, try to smooth it out. Go the other direction. Couple deep breaths. Try to isolate the movement in the hips. So the ribs aren't kind of moving with it, the legs aren't moving with it. Movement is just in the hips. Hips circling, gyrating. Good, come to the center, relax. Nice. Bring your knees together, bend the knees, have your hands over the knees. We're going to circle the knees together. Just looking to get some good circulation into the knees, but you might also feel that your ankles are moving here. A little movement in the hips, a little release of pressure at the low back. That's what we're looking for. Just to circulate the energy, circulate the blood, go the other direction. Generally in Chinese medical theory, when there's chronic pain in the body, they say it's usually caused by qi stagnation. So the qi has stopped flowing to a particular region, it's gotten stuck, it's a traffic jam. Oftentimes, if that qi stagnation lingers too long or becomes too strong, it becomes blood stagnation, and the pain becomes sharper. So we usually ameliorate stagnation of the qi and blood with movement. So we want to gently move the areas in ways that aren't painful, don't make the pain worse, that just help improve the circulation to the areas. Good, straighten your legs, slide down, find a little stretch. If you're super tight, your low back's killing you, you might not come down much at all. You might just have your hands at the thighs and come down. Either way, try not to round too much at your low back. You don't want to hurt your spinal discs here, so keep a relatively straight spine and just come down just as far as you need to go to get a little stretch. Might not be very far, or it might be a little lower. Wherever it is. I'm just going to take a couple deep breaths. Just slowly, slowly easing in. Getting more flexible over long periods of time, months, years, to become more flexible. So don't think about it in terms of minutes or days. No, it's a long process. But more than flexibility, what we want is to encourage the muscles to relax, to let go of their tension, toxins, and stress. Bring both your hands to the left leg, outside of the left leg. So maybe you're up here, maybe you're down by the shin, maybe your hands are all the way at the foot. Either way, take your left hand to your lower back, back of the hand against the back. Just do a little twist to your left. This is to get the stretch a little bit more up into the left side of the leg. Nice deep breath. Good, hands down to the right leg, right hand behind your back. Just like this. You twist. Folding forward as you twist. Release to the center. Roll it up. Good, shake your legs out. Very nice. All right, let's use a little knocking and twisting to stimulate this area. Find your feet under your shoulders. Everybody's favorite Qigong exercise, knocking on the door of life. Going to turn from our hips and waist. Let the front hand be an open palm that slaps your belly. Even the inside of the arm comes and makes contact across your belly. Across this area we call the belt channel. It's the only horizontal meridian in the body. It wraps around at the level of your navel, around the belly and the back. And that's where your backhand's hitting too, is the level of the navel, but at the back. So you're hitting your low back muscles next to the spine here. Some people, their shoulders are really tight and they just can't reach up that high. So that's okay if you come and just knock on the butt or the back of the hips here. Just like this if you're really tight. But if you can reach, come up. Use a light fist. Give yourself a little low back massage. There's a couple deep breaths. Not too hard, not too light. Remember, the movement is in the spine. It's not in the legs. We're not kind of getting loose in the legs. We're grounded in the legs. Turning at the core. Stimulating the energy at our center, at our belt channel. Good, we'll add a little more twist, looking over one shoulder, look behind yourself. Again, stay strong in the legs, so try not to feel like you're kind of twisting and collapsing in the legs. Legs stay strong and rooted. So we have a little ball between our knees, keeping them from collapsing inwards. And the twist is just from the waist up. with all these exercises only going into the range of motion that feels comfortable for you. It's going to be a little different for everybody, but listening to that in your own body is going to keep you from creating more problems with our solutions here. Listen to your body. Where there's sharp pain, you want to stay away from those areas. Just relax to the center. Good. Very nice. Shake it out a bit. Good. All right. Let's take our legs a little wider. Nice wide stance. This one is called Move the Body Like a River. I'm going to bend our knees. Have our hands on the thighs. Now if you want more challenge on this one for some reason, become super low. If you want it a little easier, you can be up a little higher. Either way, we're just going to start to shift our weight from one leg to the other. Be careful you don't shift so far the knees are going over the toes. So the knee should kind of track over the ankle as we do this. We'll start to relax through the sides of your spine. Start to feel this kind of swaying motion that starts at your low body and then comes up the spine to the head. Starts with the low body, comes up the spine to the head. So this can feel a little awkward. As mammals, we've evolved to have a sort of front to back gait with the way we walk, but our way back ancestors, fish and reptiles, move their spines side to side. So here getting into the primordial spine. Now, if this feels good for you, stay here. If you want a little bit more opening, bring your chest a little closer to the floor. We push off with one leg, let it sort of ripple out through the spine. Push off of one leg, let it ripple out through the spine. Opening through the waist, through the side of the body. Yeah, we'll come into a little gentle stretch here. So come over, bring your left hand to the thigh. Right hand reaches over the head. So you should feel from your right foot to the right hand a long line. So your right hand's not kind of up here, it's reaching over. We come across. Right hand to the right thigh, left hand reaches up and over. Again, a long line from the foot to the hand. We're pressing and reaching. Come across and stretch. Cross, and stretch. Now if you want to go a little deeper, you can bring the elbow to the thigh instead. Either way, we're going to use our breath. Exhale across, inhale open, exhale across, inhale open, exhale. A little opening through the side of the body. One more each side. Come to the center, turn your toes forward. Find your spine straight. And again, we're going to slide down, trying again not to round too much on our low back. Try to keep a somewhat straight spine. Just hang out here for a couple breaths, stretch. So let those back chains of the body open up, back of the legs, hips and spine. Gonna bend the knees, roll up. Good. One more important area we're going to try to open is the hip flexor. So keep your stance wide like this. We're going to turn on the right heel. Lift your left heel. So your left heel's up, the toe mound's on the ground. So this is a lunge. If you can't do a lunge position for some reason, maybe your ankle doesn't want to do it, you can have the back foot flat on the floor with the toes just pointing kind of 45 degrees forward. Now if you want more stretch and or challenge on this one, the further back you place the foot, the more you're going to get. Okay? If you want less, you bring it up a little closer, you have a little milder stretch. Okay? So if you want spicy, go far back. Now, we're going to try to find this stretch on the front left hip here. So if you don't feel a stretch yet, push your left hip forward. So we kind of rotate, right hip pulls back, left hip pulls forward, and then tuck the tailbone under and lift the chest. Now we're just going to do a little movement with breath, easy variation. Lift your left hand, inhale. Exhale the left hand down until it's in line with the back leg. Inhale, left hand up. Exhale down. Let's do a couple more if you want. Make it a little harder. Use your right hand too. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Hands to the thigh. Step up. We'll go back with the right foot. So again, choose a stance that works for you. You can have the heel on the floor and just do it like this. Or lift the heel, find a longer stance. Just if you want more stretch. So again, to find the stretch, this time push right hip forward, left hip back. Tuck the tailbone under. Lift the chest a little bit. So you want to feel like you're getting really long at the front of the right leg, front of the right hip. Easy variation. Keep your left hand on the thigh to help you balance. Right hand lifts up. Exhale down. A little more challenge. You lift the left hand if you like. Inhale. Exhale. Keep pressing that right hip forward. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale down. Good. Hand on the left thigh, step up. And you can shake it out. Good, so keep working on that one. It's okay if you're in the kind of shorter, milder stance. Totally fine to do it like this, and eventually you'll be able to work your way up. Good. All right, let's shake the body. Give your body a little bounce. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. So I had a lot of low back pain before I started, or as I was getting into doing Qigong. Could never figure out why it wasn't going away. I was doing yoga. I was doing all kinds of things for it. Slowly over time, as I got into Qigong, it sort of went away without me even noticing when it disappeared. So Qigong's kind of cool like that. I've had a lot of ailments like that just over the course of time of me doing Qigong. Didn't even notice when they went away. So make sure you kind of stick with this stuff. It really kicks in over time, even if you don't necessarily feel the relief right away. Although you should feel pretty good. Or I'm hoping you feel pretty good after doing these programs. And a couple more breaths. You can add a little twist to your shake. And just use the shake to try to relax through your body. Again, part of chronic pain is often unconscious tension in the muscles. Scan your body. Notice where you're holding tension. And just melt that tension away. And all your muscles become like jello, just bouncing and shaking. You can try a little side to side. Make it very small if you're being careful with your back, or go a little bigger if it feels all right. Good. Slow it down to the center. Feel your body, feel your chi. All right, we're going to start to go into more of our meditative movements. These are to really open up the energy flow through the body, which is sort of the hidden secret to Qigong, things that sets it apart from sort of modern physical therapy interventions and things like this. is accessing this mind-body connection and flow of energy. So, this one's called Lao Tzu Strokes the Beard. We're going to have our palms face up. We come up. Lao Tzu is sort of a Taoist philosopher from 2,500 years ago. And he supposedly has a very long white beard. So we're going to stroke that beard. Have your fingers by your chin, pressing forward like your fingers comb through a long beard. Sink back with your low back. Tuck your tailbone. Sink your chest. Your arms come forward until they're round. So you should see like a hoop in your arms. Your tailbone is tucked. Again, you remember to feel an opening at the hip flexors, or what we call the qua in Qigong. So you don't want to feel like you're kind of hinging at the hips. The hip flexors are open, and the abdomen is a little closed actually, your abdominal muscles. Turn your palms down, we're going to relax. Do another round. Lao Tzu strokes the beard. Come around, over the shoulders. Stroking the beard, press forward. Imagine someone's pulling you back by your shirt, just behind your belly button. Good. Pulling you back. We're going to pause here, take a couple deep breaths. Try to also feel your head, crown of the head reaching up and the chin tucking back. So we're not like this. Chin tucks back and crown lifts. We lengthen the neck as well. Try to breathe to your low to mid back, just like we did in the beginning with kidney breathing. Let this whole area open up. And turn your palms down, press down, relax. Very good. This one's called Drinking from the Lake. Take your left hand over your right kidney. So instead of on the left side of your body, your left hand comes to the right of the spine. Your right hand comes in front of the face. You take a small step to your right, so we just have a slightly wider stance on this one. We're going to do a big circle. So hinging at the hips. This time we do bend at the hip crease and at the knees. We do a motion as though we're scooping up water from a shallow lake. Scooping motion. Use our breath here. We exhale down through the bottom and inhale up over the top. Exhale, imagine you're scooping up water. And inhale, imagine that water pours down your arm and your back, into your kidneys and adrenal glands, into your low back muscles. Imagine the muscles of your low back become soft like water. Hopefully you notice I'm doing this very slowly. That is really the idea with these meditative Qigong motions. So we move and breathe very slowly. This tunes us into the chi field. Helps our chi to flow, helps our mind to become clear, helps our emotions to balance and relax. I'm going to come around and switch hands. Right hand over your left kidney, left hand up by the face. Coming down, scooping. Remember, you're bending the knee and the hip. Inhale up over the top. Exhale through the bottom. Now, if your low back is giving you trouble and it kind of hurts to come down that far, you can do it much higher up, just like this. Get a little smaller motion. But sometimes it does feel nice when the low back is hurting. To really do that hip hinge, to sink down into the earth. If it feels good, go all the way. Inhale over the top. Exhale, gather the water. Inhale, imagine the water pours down your arm and spine. Imagine that water is warm or cool, depending on your current body temperature. If you feel a need for more warmth, imagine it's a hot spring you're gathering the water from. Last one. Coming up, relax. Feet in a little closer under the shoulders, square. This one's called the fountain. Drop to the chest, hands float out to the sides. Inhale, drawing up. Exhale out to the sides. We have a little wave going through the body. Bend our knees and push the hips forward. This lifts the arms. Elbows drop, hands go out. Hips drop back, hips press forward. Feel for a wave of energy going up from the earth, up the legs, spine, out the arms. Exhaling. Inhale energy up from the earth. Exhale out the arms. This one is called the fountain. You might imagine it's water rising up from the body like a geyser from the earth, showering out the arms. See if you can relax into this flow. Relax into the flow. So you're riding this wave of energy, using less and less tension and force to move. Remember to keep the movement subtle. Don't come down too far. Stay somewhat upright with the spine. It's not a huge motion. Keep the motion subtle enough we feel like we can relax into the flow of energy. Settle it down. Grow your roots. Palms face the thighs. Expand under your arms as though a little balloon inflates under the armpit, maybe the size of a tennis ball. Imagine your arms just rest on that balloon. Remember, your tailbone is tucked under just enough to flatten your low spine. So we get rid of our sway back. We relax the low back muscles as the tailbone drops. The front of the hips, the quad opens. The jade pillow, the back of the neck opens. We tuck the chin back and in, lift the crown. So our spine is open. Muscles are as relaxed as they can be in this posture. Try to spread the effort throughout the body, so no one muscle is doing all the work, hopefully. And just hold here for about a minute, breathing deeply. These postures are said to be like the bank of the river that directs and channels the water. So we hold the posture and it directs the chi to fill the body. Just a couple more breaths. And relax. Good. A closing motion. Palms over the low back. We're going to brush down the back of the legs, following the bladder channel, and then brushing up the inside of the legs, following the kidney channel, from the front of your hips to the belly. And the hands float off the belly up towards the sky. And the hands come slowly back down. We just scan with our awareness down through the body, head to toe, slowly. Down out the feet. And the palms back to the low back. Inhale. Exhale, brush the bladder channel, the Yang Water channel. Inhale up the kidney channel, the Yin Water channel. Float off the belly, exhale. And inhale, drawing down like rain is falling through the upper body. Exhale like rain is falling through the lower body. Inhale to the low back. Exhale, brushing down. Inhale, brushing up. Exhale, floating up. Inhale, imagine calming, relaxing rain falling through your upper body, softening your muscles, calming your nerves. Exhale it down through the lower body, dripping off to the earth. Do one more time. Inhale. Exhale like water pours down the back of the legs. You can bend your knees if you need to. You don't even have to come all the way to the feet. Inhale up inside of the legs. Exhale like steam rising into clouds. Inhale like calming rain falls through the upper body. Exhale, calming rain down through the lower body. From here we step the feet in, close together. We can find a spot and bring our hands over the belly. Let your body relax into bamboo in the wind. Let's continue those relaxing long breaths. Let your body rock and sway. Just letting the energy move through us and get out of the way by relaxing the muscles. Just take a few deep breaths as we let this energy move gently through us. Just letting the system balance and harmonize. Step out with one foot. Take your hands to the hips. Let's do a little hip circle to end. Just helping the chi move through your lower body, through your core. And go the other direction. To the center. And relax. Good. All right, hopefully the energy is flowing a little smoother. Try to keep with this routine. And let me know how it works. All right, thank you so much. Hey, if you found this video helpful, you can head on over to nickloffery.com. Also, you can help support the channel by liking, subscribing. Those are all the things, right? Commenting. And that'll help us keep producing all this cool free content for you. All right, thanks so much. nickloffery.com.